And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to VWE Live, where we recap everything that happened over the week, and you can even interact with us if you go to Twitter and tweet at our hashtag VWE Live. We'll be able to get those on the screen and read out loud and ask those questions and or comments for you. Now, going on, we had a really crazy week, didn't we, Myra?
Pretty good at understatement.
As we're being joined here by none other than the German sensation, Ludi Graves. How you doing there, Ludi?
I am doing awesome like always. How can it be any different?
Of course.
But nonetheless, as you know, we're just going to get right into it as we go right into prime time, which I wasn't there, but from what I understand, you both were there.
Yep. I mean, it was crazy.
Well, what happened? What made it crazy?
Well, we had Maxine and Viola coming out to the ring, and it was basically just Viola just dropping Maxine from the sorority itself, and in the most brutal way possible. Not only did she just out her right then there in front of everybody, just aired out her dirty laundry, everything that was kept personal to Maxine, just out in the open like that. And in regards to everything, Maxine she just had enough and just laid out Viola with that knockout punch just right then and there, and completely just lost it. Ended up throwing her letterman from the sorority at Viola, so she was done with her entirely. It was crazy.
It was crazy. It was very crazy. I was there too. I was commentating the test, so I should more about that than you do. Anyway, when I saw that unfold, when Maxine got kicked out of the sorority, out of the sisterhood, I saw it coming. I called it. And it looks like Maxine is the weakest link out of the group, so Viola kicked her out. That's what happened. So, Maxine, you're now a free person, and maybe you can do something different than just being, someone's delivery girl or whatever. So, yeah, that was actually kind of awesome. I like that.
So it definitely sounds like there was more of a dissection in the ranks, but, honestly, I can't believe it escalated like that, going from the Selena interference with the rematch with Christina Krovac.
Pretty much. Wow. I mean, yeah. It basically, and it's not just calling her the weakest link. She was just mad that she allowed Selena to cause that interference in the first place. It was just that one bit. That was it. And then she completely snowballed that into thinking, oh, she's the reason why I lost my belt. She's also the reason this and that and this and that. Just basically putting all the blame on Maxine and just making it herself feel better that her own inadequacy wasn't at fault, so to speak. So the easiest way to do it is just completely cut Maxine out of the sorority entirely.
Well,
and boy, did she prove that.
As it seems that the sorority is starting to quickly lose numbers, as it seems like the sisterhood doesn't last forever.
There are only two people left, so, the numbers game, only two people left. It's like Alexandra and Viola. So, yeah, if they don't recruit anyone else, then it's just a tag team. But we will speak about that later.
Exactly. As, what else happened? Because I know I seen Bender Nirvana, and he seemed to be, kind of not of himself as of late. What's going on there?
Well, we had Benja Nirvana had a match against Braden Carson, of course. Now, prior to that, he had been more like subjected to Cody's undermining, thinking that he's nothing, he's just old and dying, all this and that he thinks that Chad can defeat him, and then when he failed at that, he thinks Cody will somehow prove that he's useless, he's nothing. But it's come at a cost to where Benja is just completely sick of it. He's tired of being undermined by someone like Cody, and we all know how he is. Come on now. It's downright insulting. At least to me personally, in my opinion, it's insulting. And it's gotten to the point to where during that match, Vince Easterwood actually came out during it and caused some sort of distraction toward it, costing Benja the match entirely. I mean, Vince tried to apologize, or at least try to show that, he's like this and shouldn't let it get to him, but he made it very clear, even to Vince, that he was done. He was completely done with everybody. Even shoved Vince off the ring, which was surprising all on its own.
Well, that was more out of frustration than anything else, Myra. He was frustrated and pissed off that everyone is resorting to cheap tactics. Roll-ups, distractions, you can't
True.
wrestle one single match without any shenanigans happening. And that's why he's so frustrated. And that happened to him like the last few weeks now. I understand, Benja, but that's the name of the game. This is pro wrestling, it's not ballet.
Yeah, well, yeah, pretty much the basic gist of it, he just got fed up. He was completely frustrated and pissed, and he was just done. That's it.
So, now moving on, I heard that there was actually a title change that happened.
Yes.
Why don't you guys go ahead and talk about that?
Well, we had Wolfie Kessel come out to the ring, and he actually just proven that he successfully defended his title against the Fatal 4-Way between Ren Blackheart, Kieran Darkwatch, and William Naples. And he proved that, yes, I am the true United States champion. So what he did afterwards was throw out an open challenge right afterwards, which was crazy. But answering that call was even crazier, as to where Cody Hooley came out with Chad. And Chad, of course, wanted to take up on the challenge, but Cody told him no, he wasn't going to, that he should get to the back. But instead of laying that out, he said that I have someone who can take up the challenge, and it was none other than the architect of Annihilation, Knight.
Now, you have to say that before Knight came out, Cody said that Chet cannot wrestle. He's not allowed to wrestle this match. Even though I don't know why he said that. Can he actually do it? I don't know, but Chet played along. So he's like, okay, well, I would have loved to see Chet wrestle. Okay?
Right?
Getting in the ring and actually get the chance to become, a United States champion. Now, then Cody dropped the bombshell with, I have a special someone that can wrestle you for the championship. And it turned out to be none other than Knight, the architect of Annihilation, who took on the chance to become potentially the United States champion, answered the call, and what happened then?
Oh, God. And then actually, he was successful. He won and is now the VWE United States champion, costing Wolfie the belt entirely. And up until the very ending moment, he was celebrating as well with his manager, Jessica Hayakova. But the thing is that he still remembered that she was the reason why he lost his Pulse Championship belt, and completely outed her right in front of everybody. I mean, it was horrible. I mean, you guys know my history with her, but I felt sorry for her. I really did.
He chewed her out. He's like, you were the reason why I lost the championship. You are nothing but a bitch.
Yeah.
Not cool at all.
I know.
But they have not split up. People thought that they split up. No, they haven't. He just hauled abuse at her. She took it like a champ. It was like, okay, he's just on his little parade, whatever. And we actually saw a fan send in a picture to the VWE when she was leaving Primetime, which is on Twitter. And it's actually an interesting picture when she was walking off all alone, the lonely road. But, they're good again. So we will see how this will go down,
I would
they're happy together again.
Like that, to be quite honest.
Well,
it was just.
Well, I mean, it's definitely going to do one of two things. That little rift there, I know she realizes she did wrong, but is that going to cause an actual rift between these two, or is it going to make them stronger? That is yet to be seen. But now, as we move on to Edge, as you know, I was actually there attending and commentating along with Myra, as we had for the main event a awesome street fight there between Michael Carson and Josh Poffo.
Oh man, it was something else.
That it was, as it went on, going through. I mean, it was a street fight, and they were everywhere in the arena. Poffo pulling up a table, which backfired on him, as he went through it at the hands of Michael. But when it finally boiled down to is Poffo thought he had the advantage, but then turned around and Michael ended up reversing it and then getting the 1-2-3. So once again, Michael showing that, he was the better person, but at the same time, not taking away, Poffo ended up really sitting here and taking it hard again.
Mm-hmm. He just has to come to accept that it's done. It's over with. Michael had no real beef with Poffo to begin with. And everybody else, it started since the Opportunist match. But Poffo made himself believe that he was not going to be the reason why Michael was going to be so successful, but in trying to prevent doing so, kind of came true if you were to just look at the events that laid out afterwards. He basically let happen what he didn't want to happen.
If you have seen what happened on Frostbite, if I'm going to chime in quick, Michael got attacked by, via boomerang from Josh Poffo. So, having that match as a retaliation, that was, it was definitely a good match. I saw that match, and it was pretty entertaining, to say the least. I like me a good street fight match every now and then. Nothing wrong with that.
Well, speaking of you there, Ludi,
right. Yeah. I know why you actually invited me here. I know exactly. You want to ask the questions. You want to get the why, Ludi, why. Go ahead and ask me. Ludi, what the hell were you thinking?
Well, I was just going to state that Jeffrey came out, talking about how they had the win, but you came out and attacked him. So it's not so much what were you thinking. I think you had put your thoughts out there on Edge very clearly, but why? Why, Jeff? Why target him, and why do you have a problem with this generation's wrestlers?
Simple, dude. It's simple. He is parading around, pondering to the fans. They all eat it up, and he has all that and more, right? And he was not looking. He was not looking for 1 second. He was dropping his guard, and that's when I attacked him like a viper and took him down. And then I was just sitting down cool, sitting on the chair, puffing a smoke, and I was telling him exactly what I thought of him. What I thought of this current generation of wrestlers, if you can even call them wrestlers. I call them, monkeys that jump around on fucking branches and all. So, they all, like Jeffrey, Viola, Chloe, Brooke, Vince Easterwood, Cody Hooley, they want to be like, oh, we are the greatest ever, we are the best ever. They have to kill themselves mostly to get a reaction. You've seen 15 suicide dives in one show. You see breathtaking moves that should cripple them, which they will. When I am 80 years old, I will be walking around grand. I will be smiling. I will be healthy. No hip replacement, no nothing. While all those current generation superstars, they will be crippled in wheelchairs, bedridden, for what? So that the people clap at them. So that the people, yay, you did a jump off the top rope. Yay, you are so cool. That is ridiculous. I wrestle my matches. I take a dude in a headlock takedown, and I will be grand. The stuff that I do is efficient. And pulls as well. Okay? Don't get me started on DAE. I think they are sometimes worse than people than those current generation in VWE. And Jeffrey Fireguard is the prime example why you have to basically kill yourself almost to get some sort of a reaction. When I get in the ring, I get a reaction by just opening my mouth. As soon as they see me with a microphone in hand, the fans go ape shit. That's what I do. Therefore, I am a way better wrestler than they are because I win my matches without crippling myself. And that's the problem with this current generation. And as I showed Jeffrey on Friday, that's exactly what he has to deal with when people from the golden era of pro wrestling go in and go in strong and be exactly that. Amazing in what they do. That's all I have to say about that.
I have to actually state that the views of Flutie Graves here does not reflect the views of VWE. But
okay.
Now, here, let me, with your views and everything on that, of the golden age. Now, as it turn around, and do you honestly think, I mean, the crowds are getting harder and harder? Granted, people like you and in the golden age, yes, they are legends. They are some people that some of the modern day wrestlers looked up to. But now, you jumping back in with all this, with this new style of high flyers, these new style of antics, aren't you afraid that you're going to get lost in the shuffle? Because other than, and mind you, you're great on a mic. But don't you think that you'll get lost in the shuffle due to the fact of your performance inside the ring does not match your mouth?
Lost in the shuffle? Lost in the shuffle? Are you out of your mind? I am the hottest topic. I am the man who goes inside the ring and does what he has to do, which is kick ass and take names
wait.
Hold on, shut up, woman. I'm not done yet. Here's the question. I'm going to answer this. So here.
Oh boy.
Right now, am I jealous or whatever? No! Am I getting lost in the shuffle? No! We did some crazy shit back then. Don't get me wrong. We jumped off cages. We jumped through burning glass. We did crazy, crazy stuff. But only when it's needed. We don't get on top of a, 20-foot pedestal or whatever, 20-foot balcony and jump off because of the fuck of it. When I do stuff like that, I want to destroy my opponent. I want to crush him. I want to make him feel pain. And I can achieve that with the simplest of moves. If I punch a guy, he's hurting. If I put him in a headlock takedown, he's hurting. When I do a backbreaker on him, he's hurting. I don't need to jump off a fucking building to get a rise out of people. I get in the ring and I do what I do. And that's what the current generation, and you ask about the fans, they are numbed to this. They are immune. You can throw shit that kitchen sink at people and they're like, nah, because they saw this already. When I'm in the ring, I win my matches. And the cage match, don't get me started on that. But I can swing a baseball bat. Myra, you can swing a baseball bat. You can swing a baseball bat there, Natas. Everyone can swing a baseball bat. You don't need to be a professional athlete. What I do needs skill. I can jump off the top rope as well. I have my flying elbow. And when I deliver my flying elbow, it hurts. I don't do it every time, though. But when I do, it's potent. It hurts. And that's what it is. That's the difference between me and the rest of the locker room. While they all jump from one tree to another, I'm on the ground, chopping that fucking tree to make it fall. That's what I do.
Well, I mean, there was a comment coming around saying that, as you just stated, you're not jealous, but it was, some other fans, especially the one in social media, thinks that you're jealous of other wrestlers just because they have more fans than you.
Can I intervene here as he's laughing his ass off?
If you could get a word in on that.
I've been patient so far.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh, fuck. Okay, hold on. Am I jealous that people have that some people have more. No, because the fans I have, they know I'm great. I have a handful of people, and I know that these people are there for the ride all the way. So I'm good. I'm good with that. So please continue. We're jealous.
As you were saying there, Myra.
I'm sorry, but everything that you have just said is complete bullshit. You're just shitting on the new era and how your era was greater.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Your only redeemable moment was at Wrestle Series 8. Granted. But so far afterwards, you've just been taking easy, underhanded ways to prove, quote unquote, that you were the greatness. You have taken easy wins when Jeffrey Fireguard was still under Austin's rule. Okay?
Okay.
And you
Because he didn't win the match.
You have attacked him out of nowhere.
This comes down to, are you winning your matches, or are you just jumping from one corner to another? And guess what? His wrestling style don't work. That's why he is not a world champion. That's why he has, been under Austin's rule. And only because DJ came back at Frostbite, that's why he was able to win this match. Don't start with this, woman. Don't get me. Don't make me stand up.
Okay. This sounds like this is definitely a conversation all on its own for a whole nother show. But
I said what I need to say.
Well, we do need to get moving on, as we had a surprise tag match, which was Hillary and Christina taking on Aphrodite and Chloe, with Crystal being the special guest referee. And it just started out, though, with Hillary and Aphrodite having to go to the back and find their own partners for this match.
Yeah, pretty much when it came down to it.
And then turn around, though, and there was a confrontation, though, later on with, as Chloe came out to give the speech that she gave out in the middle of the ring. On her way back, Christina came out and attacked her, and security had to actually come out and break them up. So then Stuart Wharf goes, okay, then I've got an idea to make, Hillary and Aphrodite's job a little easier. Turn around and actually going to make this easier for them. You guys are going to join that tag match. It's going to be Hillary and Christina against Aphrodite and Chloe. And that was definitely an interesting matchup, but it came to a point where they just exploded, and Chloe ended up getting dragged out of the ring, leaving Aphrodite to fend for herself. And Hillary took the advantage, ended up pinning her for the 1, 2, 3, and honestly, I'm actually quite surprised at that reaction.
Yeah. Well, so granted, even after the championship match itself, Christina and Chloe have been at each other's throats. Mind you, for the very solid reasons, but Christina, of course, still wanting to prove that she's still the champion, nonetheless, even though she legitimately and fairly lost the belt.
But she will be again. She will be the women's champion once again. Mark my words. Christina Krovak is training to get a rematch. When she's getting a rematch, she will be ready, and she will be women's champion once again. It's just a matter of time. Will it be a
Viola has
shockwave?
more of a chance getting the belt back than Christina.
No, she does not. No, because Christina knows where and how to poke the bear, okay? And she knows how to take it down.
Yeah,
Chloe is what, 60
beforehand.
pounds and 4 feet tall? She is small. Christina only lost by a fluke, and she will get her championship back in no time. Mark my words, the German sensation has spoken.
But nonetheless,
really
but even with Crystal being that special guest referee, though, after it was said and done, and I was, I was very surprised that she was able to, keep a non-biased attitude about the reffing position. But that was until the bell rang, as Crystal ended up laying out Hillary there at the end, and that caught us all by surprise. But let's go ahead and move on to earlier today, shall we? What do you guys? You guys were there commentating, so I was up here getting ready. What ended up happening?
Oh boy!
For the main event itself, we had Maven Gothley taking on the Crisis.
Yeah, and that match, what the fuck? But go ahead. No, the fact that your favorite, I mean, he won by disqualification because Maven, okay, it looked the way that Maven had this match under his belt, right? Easy in his pocket. He's stronger, he's fat, he's more muscular, his hands is the size of a toilet lid, right? When he claps, a fucking tsunami starts, okay? So, this guy goes in there and destroys Crisis. He destroys him. But then out of a fluke situation where Maven was dropping his guard for 1 millisecond, Crisis was able to capitalize on this and turn around. While Maven said, fuck this, he went outside, got a chair, and smacked the Crisis over his head as hard as he could. And maybe, just maybe, it smacked some sense back into him, and I hope so. But then, his brain is so damaged already, I highly doubt that.
Oh, please. With someone like Maven, you could piss him off just by looking at him in the wrong fucking look.
Why are you looking at him in the wrong way in the first place?
All he wanted to do was prove that he was stronger than, to him, some sort of fucking psychopath. And prove that he was big and bad. That's why he called him out. He hadn't even noticed Maven. The Crisis hasn't even given him a second thought. All the fact that he was interrupting his feud with Knight. But he just wanted to come out and prove that he was big and bad, and then, suddenly he couldn't handle him in an actual match, so he had to bring out a fucking chair and lay him out. Right in front of the comp table, Ludi.
Bullshit, and you know it. Maven was like, you know what? I give him some payback. And that's what he did. He took the chair, swung it, and you know what? He hit a home run. That's what he did. And you know what, Maven? Good job, mate. Good job.
Good job.
Well then, it definitely sounds like, hey, there's definitely sides being taken here, with these two, but why don't we move on from earlier in the matchup?
Sure. As we had Drake Edwards taking on Plasma.
And that match, again, Plasma, smart move on your part, dude. Smart move. But I let you go on, Myra, because I know you want to bask in the spotlight, so go ahead.
At least I'm not spewing that much BS on how great I am.
I am great. Look at me. I'm the German sensation. I look good even in a potato sack. I make stuff look good because I am that amazing. But go ahead. Go ahead.
The match between Drake and Plasma was almost evenly matched, but underestimating Plasma's agility and quickness always seems to be the downfall with Drake. Now, these two had spats in and out between all sorts of matches when facing off each other, but it always comes down to Plasma always trying to stay that one step ahead, and Drake proving that to him, Plasma is nothing to him. But that kind of led to him getting caught in that roll-up and Plasma winning the match for that 1-2-3. At least that's how I saw that.
Well, as what I saw, what I saw was actually, Plasma being the smarter man in the match and actually rolling him up. Maybe he grabbed the ropes. Maybe he grabbed some tights. I didn't see it. So, but, Drake, of course, complained about this thing. I'm from the AE. This is so unfair. Whatever. Start crying me a river. That's what I'm saying. This current generation just can't take it. They are whiny personalities that just cry and bitch and moan until they get what they want. Back in the golden era, we went there like, hey, I don't like you. I want your championship belt. Let's fight. All right. Ding, ding. Okay. There you go. Like, hey, I want to make more money. I need to be the champion. Guess what? I will be in a number one contender match. Done. Now it's like, I don't like it that this guy is the champion. I want to face him. I want to face him. Please let me face him. I don't like it. Yeah, right. Go home.
Well, as they're speaking of, the new generation, apparently Viola Beaumont has a comment for you on social media.
Oh, really?
Ludi Graves says that he is against this generation because of the style. Ludi Graves is full of shit. I wrestle on the ground the same as he does. The true difference is that I am a young, budding superstar, and Ludi Graves is just an old, obsolete man trying to grasp on what fame he has left, just like sinfully devilish Maxine.
Ooh.
Viola, don't forget who broke you into this business. Just saying.
But
just saying.
Now, I know that there was one more match within there, and so what happened with that?
Well, we had the start of the match for the entire show. We had Ellie, Christensen, Embers taking on Misaki. Now, of course, in all obviousness, Allison Danes decided to take it upon herself to make sure Ellie didn't make her match. I'm pretty sure you saw that part.
I did.
Not you. It's us.
Oh.
Where apparently she found out that you were interviewing Ellie in the backstage instead of her. Of course, that upsetted her in many various ways. And, of course, went backstage and completely assaulted Ellie and almost costing her the match. But luckily she came out right at the last second.
But yeah, well, it was more like 5 seconds, okay? The referee wasn't a 5 count. Don't over-exaggerate it, right? But here's the thing. She came out right on time, to get in the match. And guess what? She lost. Via submission! Because that's what Misaki Yamaku does. She destroys her opponents. And that's why I respect her. She is getting in the ring. The only thing I don't respect is her manager, but I can turn a blind eye on that one, like the referee did. She turned a blind eye left and right. And that's a different topic. So, Misaki won via submission, even though allegedly Ellie got attacked by someone in the back. And, well, you were interviewing her in the task. Who was attacking her? Didn't you see that? Please share some light on this.
Well, obviously, Allison seemed to have been that, but I got out of there as soon as the fighting began. So I didn't see exactly what happened. I just knew Allison was calling for me. I left the room for a second to see what was going on, and, all of a sudden,
thank goodness
there were security guards. Exactly. I mean, what?
So you fell for the oldest trick. You didn't even bother, calling up, whatever. It's okay, whatever. And don't, 1 second, don't get me Ellie, okay? Ellie Christensen Embers. Fucking A, Ellie. That person from Bristol, England, alright? She thinks she is so good, but yet she tapped out. So what's that? Second generation superstar, mind you. Second generation superstar. Enough said. Next gen? Enough said. Move on.
Well, as she goes on and makes the comment, is that freaking cow got what she deserved after the freaking match. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That was not pretty.
Oh, what happened?
Shoved.
She got shoved Allison from in the audience up on a couple of chairs because she was kind of not happy about the whole thing. I mean, I wouldn't blame her, to be quite honest. I think Allison has misdirected her spite in the wrong direction, but,
But, ladies and gentlemen, that is our recap, but make sure you are to catch Primetime Wednesday at 5 p.m. SLT, Edge Friday, 6 p.m. SLT, and of course, Pulse at 1 p.m. SLT on Sunday. But now, I think we're going to get in there. We're going to get into something that was relatively recent, an announcement that was made by Stuart Wharf himself, and that is the Tag Team Classic, where where that will be taking place, and give plenty of time for people to find partners or even have the tag teams in there, as it will be June 3rd and 4th, 2 days of wrestling tag team action. As there's also been the point, it's been made, it is a intergender championships.
And that is new. That is new. That means male and female can form a tag team and compete for the tag team championship in that tournament. Become the, tag team classic champions or whatever, right? So, yeah. It's going to be very interesting to see. Never been done before. I like that. I like that idea. Of course, I wrote down my name because, hey, it's another achievement I have under my belt. And I have a very big belt because a lot of achievements need to have space underneath that.
But here's the thing that also adds to it as well. It's not only an intergender match, or at least an intergender show, it's also an interfed. It is including both brother and sister fed, DIE and WPWF.
Now my question is, and you guys may know this, and I'll let you guys kind of explain this, but how is it that WPWF can enter this tournament with it being an all-female fed?
Because it's intergender, dude. That's why. It's intergender.
They can have their tag partners from either DIE and VWE. Basically, plain and simple.
Exactly. They can get, let's pick someone from WPWF. Let's say Natalie Sonnen. Okay, she can get Derek Colt as a tag team partner. Boom. They both can go for the tag, and they kind of would mix though. He is a former MMA boxing champion. She is an MMA professional fighter. There you go. Put two together. You have a very dominant tag team. I can totally see that happening.
So I mean, and it's definitely going to be interesting to see on who is going to partner with who from what fed, and it's definitely going to be interesting. But Ludi, have you found a partner, or are you just going to allow it to chance?
I am scouting. That's why I was there yesterday on Riot at WPWF. I'm scouting who would be, on my level, which will be really difficult because my level is very high. Like not even God himself could limbo through, under that bar, right? So here we go. Now, I will scout and see who's good, who I can actually go with and be tag team champion. But you guys gonna see that happen, in a few weeks or whatever. But also don't forget that that's not everything. We put some knives in there as well. It's an interpromotional championship, so also the winner of this tag team classic tournament will not only become the winner of that tournament, but also the VWE Tag Team Champions, which can be defended at DIE, WPWF, or VWE. So it can go on any show that is participating in this triangle of wrestling. So there you go. You have WPWF, DIE, and VWE, and everything goes. And And this isn't. Hold on. Camera. Can you close in on me just for a second? Just come close. Good. Okay. Hi, I am Ludi Graves. I am a 5-time World Heavyweight Champion, 2-time Tag Team Champion, 1-time Hardcore Champion, and 4 times Golden Rope Award winner, and 2 times Hall of Famer. I am now searching for a VWE or DIE or WPWF female professional wrestler that would like to tag team with me for the VWE Tag Team Classic. Now, if you feel that you are the right woman for it, please send me a note card or send me a message on Facebook, Twitter, or just knock at my door. But bring some cheese and wine.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
Watch the masses play.
Now, I mean, and that it's going on. I understand that it is, supposed to be wrestler, but I ended up hearing something about Ludi, you saying that Myra should enter in the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, she's going totally. She's getting Google eyes, like whenever Crisis goes out there. So I said that she should practice and train and become a professional wrestler or a rookie, and then she can actually join the tournament. I'm pretty sure that Crisis would not mind. I mean, they have this natural bonding anyway. So yeah, that's what I thought.
And what are your thoughts on that, Myra? I mean, is it interesting? Is it something that interests you, or?
You know what? Fine. I will join the Tag Team Classic.
Well, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. As long as she can get cleared and trained, apparently Myra's going to join the Tag Team Classic.
But just to put all of that speculation out into the light, my tag team partner will be the Crisis.
Ha! Wouldn't you have guessed who won the pony? Wouldn't you have guessed who won the motherfucking pony? I understand. Because, you're like, I can wrestle with my favorite guy. Ah!
Ludi,
my dreams yet?
You want to know one of the reasons why I want to join now?
Oh, please indulge me, Myra. Why would you want
the ring?
Why would you want to wrestle in a team with a deranged guy like him? That bastard child of a psychopath hobo and the Phantom of the Opera. Why would you want to do that?
Just to watch your body broken in the ring when he decides to just free you.
Come on, you're gonna lose in the first round anyway. Whatever, it's okay. You can have dreams. Sometimes they're wet, I get it, but mostly they're nightmares because that face. Yeah. Let's move on. Shit, because the camera guy is like, we're gonna finish. Let's wrap it up.
All right. Anyway, let's go ahead and speculate there on who might be teaming. I mean, obviously the VWE or WPWF VWE or even the WPWF and DIE hybrid teams could happen. Who do you guys see that, as apparently somebody is already having a dream match in social media, talking about Myra, you and the Crisis taking on Knight and Jessica.
Boy, she has more of a chance of being a wrestler as much as I do. And that would be quite interesting to see, in all honesty.
I hate, actually I love to hate rain on your parade, but she has been a wrestler and champion in the past. Bombshell, and I think also women's champion. So, she is a trained professional, and I'm sure that she can wreck you. And she will rip those hair out of your head and scratch these eyes out. I'm pretty sure she can do that because, guess what? She is a professional.
Right.
Okay. You having dreams. That's so funny.
But who else do you think would be a great team up? Let's speculate on that. Who do you think's going to, team up? I mean, we don't know who's all signed up for it. We don't know who's all found partners or nothing else like that, other than obviously, Myra, you and the Crisis, and whatnot. Let's go ahead and speculate though, like with the champions. Like, who will Knight choose? Who will Chloe choose? Or even going on the WPAWF side, who will Rika Ahara choose?
Well, that one's going to be a tough one. Ree seems like the kind of person to just take care of things herself.
But who do you think would?
I have an idea. I have an idea. Ahead. Here, you have Derek and Natalie, right? And as the MMA tag team, right? Then you maybe can have. You can have, of course, you have Knight and Jessica. That would actually make sense. That would be a nice tag team to see. Then you have maybe Cody and Hillary. What about that? Then, of course, you can have Christina and me. Christina, if you see this, please let's make it happen.
That
You
truly
and me
makes sense.
are gonna be the tag team of the century. We're gonna rule this business. If you're interested, you know where to find me. But that's just some ideas. Or you can have Stuart Wharf and let's see, Maxine. Would be interesting to see, right? Do you agree? I know
agree.
you do.
You seriously agree?
It would be interesting to see. I mean, it's like, who can we? I mean, Maxine is, well, obviously Stuart Wharf. I mean, hasn't been in the ring since the him and Shelton McMahon match. I mean, obviously, he may need to be retrained a little bit, get a little refresher course going on.
Still, he has the wrestling license that is only expiring every 10 years. So he has the license. He can get in the ring if he wants to. He can do this. So with the paperwork and, he can do it. Yeah, that would be interesting. Who will he side with?
Well, and it seems like there's a lot of talk over, the social media as, Ellie, Christensen Ambers is, got her eyes on Drake, and I mean, there's definitely going to be people are watching and looking for this, who their potential partners can and will be.
It's actually kind of funny because they all said, Stuart Wharf and Allison Danes. That would be interesting. That would be funny.
But I mean, nonetheless, I mean, even what if the Misfit takes and I know it's a bad subject for you, Louis, but what if Misfit decides to join? Who would he be really good with?
He has no chance to win it anyway. Doesn't matter.
Oh,
doesn't matter. He can, pick Sandra, the girl who does the concession stand, for all I know. Or he can pick I don't know, maybe Chloe. Maybe Chloe. Then they maybe have a slight chance. Maybe a little itsy bitsy tiny chance. But they're going.
I'm gonna say Kasumi.
Kasumi Hayata. That would be interesting. But hey, maybe Misaki, if you see this, I'm still available. If you want to have a good tag team partner, here I am. Just saying. But yeah, there's so many infinite combinations that it's just crazy to speculate right now. It's just dream anyway. So we will see.
Well, I mean, for sure. I mean, you look at Jeffrey Fireguard and Hillary, that would be a combo, even though it relies mainly on headbutts that the two share.
True.
Are you
so many combinations
territory now?
Between WPWF, VWE, and DIE. Hell, you can have a DIE and VWE tag team, a WPWF and VWE team, or a WPWF DIE team. It's just so many of the combinations. It's just endless, to be quite honest.
Well, I guess, because Stuart Wharf, who's watching right now, made a comment about something that we said. It was like, I guess, me and Stuart Wharf, you want me fighting solo? Ever since announcing the Tag Team Classic, my phone has been ringing off the hook. The eyes of the world are on this show.
Wow.
Well, that must be Stuart because A, his phone never rings because he lost his phone. Second, yes, the eyes are on the show because I am on it. And we talk about the Tag Team Classic, which is a huge deal. I'm looking forward to it. Definitely. Yeah.
Oh,
and
definitely.
Who would Kieran choose? Who would Kieran Darkwatch choose?
That is a good question.
Crystal.
Who is... Okay.
Okay, yeah,
I love how you didn't have to think about that.
Yes,
I actually did
yes.
for like a second and like, Crystal.
Yeah, okay, Crystal. Yeah, that makes sense. Crystal, yeah.
I mean, you look at it. Once again, you guys said. I mean, we're going on like the whole VWE roster. I mean, obviously, we've got the DIE roster also to go with that. Plasma Drake, the crisis they are a part of. You know, let alone who do you think that they would choose?
Well, good question. Maybe I don't know, Kitty. You know, the DAE Women's Champion. She could pick someone. Maybe she picks someone of her own roster, or maybe someone from VWE. That would be interesting. But who could she pick then? I mean, who could carry her big tatas?
What?
It'd be funny. It'd be really interesting to see with what they're going. You know, with the little squabble they're having right now, jumping from flow of the show.
I'm sure it kind of just makes it a little bit harder for any of the females on DIE to find somebody from VWE, since WPWF is all women nonetheless.
But now here comes, and then this is actually an interesting question that just came to mind. Is what if somebody from DIE and WPWF won the belt? Now, and this, even with WPWF supposed to be an all women's fed, but being able to have a male compete there, that's definitely going to be interesting to see that aspect, having males compete at WPWF because of the fact of they won that match. They won those belts.
I mean, dear Lord, Lyra in WPWF is already a force to be reckoned with. I mean, and under there in Rhea as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. You're making good points there for once. You can have. It's a different thing. You have to ask Stu about this because he came up with this whole concept. So I think that the VW chairman who came up with the idea would have a solution for this. But maybe not. He's like, oh shit, they're right. So maybe it will all change. Who knows? We will see.
But then it comes up to the aspect of what if there was, the whole combination of this whole belt. I mean, being VWE and allowing the inter promotional aspect of it. What if somebody from DIE teamed up with somebody from WPWF and won the titles? What do you think's going to happen at that point?
Ooh, it's going to be a major ego blow, at least to VWE, especially during this whole DIE VWE war that's going on right now.
There is no war. If it's a war, you need competitive people. VWE is the number one, and then DAE, they try, they think they are hot. They're
but
DAE.
Here's the thing though, and this is just my thought on that, being scared, as it seems that some of the wrestlers there from VWE are scared of DIE because now they're going over and assaulting
scared?
Over there,
desperate. I think the word you were looking for is a little bit desperate. Scared would just be basically pissing them off. I mean, we had Brooke Owens attack Kitty. I mean, in all honesty, it was a little bit fair. I mean, Kitty was kind of calling her out right from the audience, nonetheless, and she just got tired of it. She was attacked week after week, and then all of a sudden she just got tired of it and just super kicks Kitty right from the barricade. Or over the barricade, I should say. Just lays her out right then and there.
Good! Should have kicked her in the noggins. Kick her, take her down, and keep her down. That's it. Boom. Done.
You also have that interference that Cody Hooley did during the main event when Chris James is taking on Drake Edwards and just lays out Drake then and there and thinking, Cody and Chris are going to be a thing now. But no. It's not surprising, especially with Cody. He holds himself higher above everybody else, even from his quote-unquote followers. And he just lays out Chris there. And he declares it. It's a counterattack from the interfering attacks that DIE has been doing at VWE Pulse. So,
and this is exactly what, was the thing. Do you honestly think that there are going to be people from VWE wanting to team up with people from DIE?
That's exactly the point. It's going to be harder for the women from DIE to team up with anybody from VWE, especially with Allison looking down on almost all of the VWE roster itself.
I don't think so.
So I think it'd be so anybody from DIE that joins this whole little this tag team classic, their best bet would be to go with try to find a woman either from DIE or over at WPWF. Would that be assumption be right?
Pretty much.
Well, and then the women there will have more luck looking into the DIE roster and staying within their whole little faction. Oh, excuse me. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see who on the VWE roster can look past themselves and be able to get into the whole factor of joining with another Fed for this.
I don't think so. I don't think it will happen with all the bullshit they're causing.
Shut it, Ludi.
Oh.
I mean, if that were to happen, it would actually raise more respect between the DIE and VWE members themselves. I mean, it's like, oh, you're this good, so I have more respect for you. I guess that will probably mend over, VWE looking down on DIE itself, or just some of the wrestlers of VWE looking down on some of the wrestlers at DIE, instead of just the whole.
So at this point, it's more of a proving ground to some people. At least that's the way I feel right now. It's definitely it's a proving ground, so to speak. I mean, we've got now until June 3rd for them to pick partners and possibly be, maybe VWE will see something in somebody from DIE. WPWF will have to look outside of, we'll have to look at VWE and DIE. It's definitely, there's so much that could go on at this point. So many different combinations. I mean, if Chiyoko actually joined, who would she end up going with? I mean, that's going to be the big question is who's going to match her, veracity in that ring?
I don't know. We will see. We will see. The line has not. We don't know who's gonna team up with who or whom. We don't know yet. But here, camera. Come closer again, just a little bit. Hold on. For all of you who are watching now and who want to be part of the VWE Tag Team Classic, there is a real true sensation still up for grabs. And this guy is me. So if you want to be in a tag team with me and actually win the gold, you can contact me. You know my number. You know the way to contact me. So, you can get this guy.
Oh my god.
And be the next tag team champion.
This isn't a dating site there, Ludi. I'm sorry.
You go out for a dating thing, and it's like, hey, you want to be in the tag team with this guy? Contact me. That's all I have to say. But Christina, you have my open invitation, Christina Kromek. You can be, the next tag team champion with the German sensation. Just saying, it's an open invitation. I'm extending my hand.
But nonetheless, Cody Hooley ended up tweeting a comment saying that they attacked our rookies, and now they got me, and they're fucked. Right now, honestly, I feel with that, Cody Hooley is biting off more than he can chew. I mean, only ones over there really starting off anything is Cody Hooley and Brooke Owens, compared to the rest of the DIE roster. Now, well, okay, let me rephrase this because he thinks he is omnipotent and all that. He needs to, got a whole roster going on against him. So, but it will definitely be, for sure, going to be really interesting to see what happens at June 3rd and June 4th. What combinations are going to be for the Tag Team Classics? It's definitely going to be interesting to watch because maybe we will see the actual coming together of tag teams beforehand, or it might be kept secret. Who knows? But make sure you are here June 3rd and June 4th for some great intergender tag team action. But like all good things, it must come to an end. And thank you, Ludi, and thank you, Myra, for coming and joining me here at VWE Live.
You're quite welcome.
And you are so lucky to have me on your show. Whenever I show my face on this show, it's gold. It's gold, just like when I become the tag team champion on June 3rd and June 4th. That's when I become the world tag team champion. And then I'm going to be even more awesome, and I show the current generation of wrestlers that this guy was right all along. So with that being said, I am the German sensation. I would never break a hip. I'm healthy. I am the German sensation, Rudy Graves, and thank you. Bye bye. See you this week on Primetime or Edge. Ta-ta.
Or Pulse, all at specific times. But of course, I've been the most recognized voice in SL Sports Entertainment today. The voice of Detroit, Natasha Grimmore.
I've been the voice of sanity herself, Myra Murdoch.
And we will see you guys here at Primetime. So until then, good fight, good night.
Good. Okay, now I finally go and get my little, jacuzzi bath going on. So, bye-bye, folks.